my boy Bum, since we talking about it, because it coincides with that other story. So I left from KB's, right? End up, Bum hit me, like, I'm gonna come scoop you, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh, nah, the car got towed. And then he was like, I'm gonna come scoop you. So, the rent-a-car, so uh, so I go to his house, you know what I mean? He take me to the house. So I'm like, we chilling or whatever, I gotta turn myself in like in days, right? And so we go to LA and stuff. This fool crazy. He drinking Hennessy, he driving fast, you know what I mean? I ain't drinking or nothing, you know what I mean? So we go up to LA, he goes somewhere and do his thing or whatever. Across the street from Master Burger, right? So he go grab a bird. I'm like, Annie, we heated. And he's drinking. And he got on the freeway doing 100 miles an hour. I'm like, nigga, pull over, homie. Pull over. Pull over. So now I gotta drive. Cause I'm like, man, golly, man. So I end up driving. We make it back to Dago to the house. You know what I mean? I'm like, nigga, you crazy, man. I'm like, I gotta turn myself in the next day, in 2 days. So, right? So we make it safe to the house. Thank God or whatever. He got his girl he been with for a long time at that house or whatever. And it's crazy because the house he was living in, when I think about it, was, my folks down the street, that was all that stuff had happened at the 7-Eleven when I almost got killed. His big brother, he was in the car too when that happened. But that's his baby's mama's house. But, he cool with her or whatever, you know what I mean? He cool with them too, as far as he lived there and all kind of stuff at their dad's house and all kind of stuff, right? So, we make it home, man, that night. So I sit on the couch. He do something and he man, I'm about to go. I'm like, man, you want me to roll with you? He nah, just stay here. Okay. So I'm there with his girl or whatever, you know what I mean? Oh, I got a story on that. But, I ain't never messed with his girl or nothing. Even if we wasn't around each other, none of that. I ain't never did none of that funny style stuff, right? So, end up, and she Mexican and black. Her dad is black Mexican, and her mom is black or whatever. But, so end up, I crash out or whatever. I crash out, wake up, he called. He hey, man, some fools is following me right now, man. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, what you mean somebody following you? He man, I think I'm about to get cracked. And he hangs up the phone. He no, he says, I think I'm about to get cracked. I'm like, what's up? He's like, man, I just left over there at such and such. I said, man, I told you a long time ago, I never felt comfortable with dude. He was like, he hung up. No, he was like, man, get my stuff out the house. I'm like, what? I'm like, so I'm thinking he done took the rack, right? But the bird is in the house, heaters and everything, all his jewelry, all that, right? So I go put it up or whatever, get up out of there. So end up, he bail out or whatever. He like, yeah, I'm locked up. He like, yeah, I'm locked up, and I'm about to get bailed out. I'll talk to you when I get there. He's like, did you do it? I was like, yeah, man, I took care of it. You know what I mean? So end up this is the same time when, like I said, the gift certificate stuff, and then when I got out from the gift certificate stuff and I was at my daughter's mom's house and all that, then the boys and I ran to the church, and I was just like, I quit, right? I quit. So I'm just kind of trying to stay in God's presence, right? And me and him, we always